Welcome to VLearn Network. This is session 5 in the part 1 of data storage management on storage network. In this session we are going to cover topics: the requirement of network storage architectures, one-to-many relationship with DAS, that is direct access storage, many-to-many relationship with storage network, function of storage network, connecting, storing, SAN and NAS as storing and filling applications. Now let's begin to our session about data in the storage network. As we discuss some important information lifecycle management in previous session, so now we will study about the networking, which has become essential as in our very day-to-day life, and internet information infrastructures are very necessary for here, and becoming for competent and new and important technologies are coming in our day-to-day life, so it's really necessary to get a knowledge about it also. So that's require a sound understanding of storage technology, and the principle are also coming, and that in this session now we are going to our storage technology as also include the insights on designing and running on the SAN and NAS implementation. As the basic overview we have already covered about what is SAN. Now let's see here, the first topic we are covering is the requirement for network. As you know, we are going to hear about network. The first, it's very necessary to be clear what are the requirements. It's amazing that how the tolerant of a society that become a regarding system and data access. That's, you know, everyone are going to be by the large amount of data and accessing it. So if we can't get data, we want on demand, whether it for personal or business need. So that has become sometime as a frustrated for the look or other venues to get what we want. And this is impatience that data access put on the incredible amount of pressure on IT professional. Now the data access that represent only one of management vector that involved with the storage today. And another issue is hoarding habit of technology. User who want to make sure they have the copy file data that might be useful in the future. And you know, whatever you are getting maybe today not much benefit for you, but in the future it's much can be possible to be required much beneficial. So system or network that do not always work as expected. So when they are continually, they begin stretched to their capacity, while storing data online could turn on to be natural and as the form of the human behavior. And it is form of the natural the system administrator to enjoy wasting and the affirmation and of the everyday. That's what is written basically in front of you. So it should be very obvious that that can be no access to data without some sort of storage connectivity between them in the storage. And why it may not be as obvious in the fact that storage connectivity need to be incredibly that accurate, reliable and scalable basically. So you know basic about the data storage connectivity required in the for network, and storage system basically that also corruptible losses the data. So it's likely to storage connection technologies and that injects transmission errors and does not provide as per need for reliability, and there is no way to achieve anything that close to 99% available from storage technology that encourages for disconnection as a way of life. Now about more that's we corrupting the loss of data, I already tell you, and that injection transmission errors can be occurs in our day-to-day transactions, and there is no way to achieve anything close to 5 nines availability from storage topologies and encourage the disconnection as the way of life. Next topic is about the network storage architecture. That's Now we have studied about the requirement, but we need about the architecture, that is a complete view in which we need to everything to show what we are using and how they are connecting and how to be accessed here. Now the internet technique is very clearly evidence that we live in the information age where data access is paramount to the access of an organization. That in our daily life, information is that is super long. We have every day and every transaction is requirement about of data. So it is obvious to me that most valued asset to the entire IT infrastructure is their data. सो दैट्स आपको पता है कि हमें डेली लाइफ में इतना डाटा चाहिए होता है, हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, तो हम अपने एसेट जो हमारे होते हैं ज़्यादा हमें एसेट मीन दैट मे बी बेनिफिशियल फॉर द फ्यूचर. सो द IT infrastructure that's providing that kind of data may be required for future as well also. So the efficiency for conducting automated business functions depend on having data stored and providing access to it. We need to provide such kind of a data can be automatically accessed and that is to good efficiency. That is depend on the how to have data stored and to provide to access it. In some cases, organization data was collected over decades. So as you know, it's very clear about how to collect here from the decade, and it represent uncoverable the business intelligence, and it cannot be replaced at all. And that was the basic about the storage architecture. And next is about to one-to-many relationship with the DAS. What is one-to-many? That is I know here I have very clear the meaning of DAS is direct access storage. Where the data is stored, you can access the data by the processor. So the primary problem with the DAS is the what is that there is single point of failure. Which can block access to data. The directly listening, if there is some problem arises, then it can block it. So bus topology for data access may have not been able to reflect the similar role data that is over the scheme data processing. In the bus topology, data is processed in the sequentially, and if at some point the failure will occur, that all the process will stop working. So it is able to reflect to the overall role of data in all scheme of data processing. So that DAS that user one server to many storage relationship. Let's see the diagram here. That is one-to-many relationship structure of DAS. That in this diagram you are able to see here this is the client one of the server, and from there is some controller which sends some input output from this side and this side, and this is the bus 1 topology and this is the bus 2 topology. Then we subtile the detail of DAS relationship with a single bus controller that manage all bus activity, and basically that storage the entire data storage bus do not that communicate directly with the other storage entity. So even through the technology that might support storage to storage and communicate with the implementation is not common. What we are watching here in this diagram that represent here, there is the one bus topology and this is the second bus topology. These are linked with over this one server. If in this case somewhere in the data get failure occur, then think how the entire process with the mid block here. And sometimes the next is that we go to about many-to-many relationship. That was the previous we studied one-to-many, because there was the one the server and the through which we are sending to many of the bus topologies. And now they have to many-to-many relationship with the storage networking. Then what you can access and how to do. Here the data is most important asset. That data is the very necessary for you if you are working here over the network. The data is lost, and you maybe you have a lot of loss by in the terms of the money and the business terms. So data is the most important asset and the connectivity providing access to it, and must also be highly valued. Communication topologies for data access need to be flexible, resilient, scalable, and secure. Then in traditional, you see the client server environment. Server system have been the center of attention. The client server, because server at the center, it managed all our system to handling the request, and that client located through the organization that can access application running those centralized server. And this is the however that is DAS can be one server to many, and the storage relationship structure. So no way to build a flexible connectivity. Now about here many-to-many, the network changes the relationship between server and storage by creating peer level communication between all entity. By the peer that can be by many to network can be connected here. That communication between all entity basically in the network and server and the storage alike. So where the DS, the direct access storage, which use one-to-many relationship structure on the network storage. So many-to-many relationship structure can be multiple of the server can connected over here, then it will be many-to-many, because in the previous one-to-many there was the one server. If the fault will occur, that will the whole process will be that stop and the very loss can be occurred here. If we get connected many-to-many, that means if the more than one server connected, you will not stop here the life and the accessing the data. You can access by the another one. So it's very beneficial of the many-to-many relationship, that is the multiple server and the multiple storage devices that can all communicate with each other. Next we are going to discuss about functions of storage network. About the function of storage network, the storage process can be broken of the three different functional area that is shown in the table in the next slide, but I would like now here to tell that is fastest way to gain in depth and understanding of network storage is to know that what each of these three functional area does and what product typically provide them. What I want to say that जो आपका स्टोरेज प्रोसेस है, अगर हम उसको थ्री फंक्शन एरिया में डिवाइड करते हैं, थ्री फंक्शन एरिया कौन से, द डायग्राम दैट रिप्रेजेंट हियर, कनेक्टिंग, स्टोरिंग एंड फिलिंग. Connecting, what it that provide the transmission of data between system storage, storing for what at the lower level application where specialized command and control protocol for system and device interaction where data can be stored, and about the filling that directs the emplacement of data object in storage and is responsible for presenting data to applications and user. That is was the about filling. That is the, again I would like to tell you, direct the placement of data between the objects in the storage and responsible for presenting of data. So this was the three function in which we divided it. So that is the fastest way. You know, if we divided it way different tasks, that it make the fast, the way of gaining the depth understanding of network storage, and is to know what each of these three function area that it's already I explained you what this three function area provide you. And about next topic is we will go to connecting. Now what is here in the connecting? There are always been some way to connect system to the storage port. You know, we are discussing about the storage, where the data storage is the most important. Now how to we to make the connection here over the many server you can connect. So what is the way connecting way? That is essentially the mean providing some sort of data transmission between storage device and subsystem and the system processor. What basically we want to say that अगर हमारे पूरे सिस्टम कनेक्ट है एंड स्टोरेज प्रोडक्ट्स को हम किस तरह कनेक्ट करते हैं, सॉर्टेड वे में हम करते हैं, ट्रांसमिशन हमारी कैसे होगी बिटवीन स्टोरेज डिवाइस में एंड उनके सब सिस्टम्स में, that we can be see here. For the most part storage has been either bus connecting to technologies for DAS storage or network connecting technology for the SAN, that is storage. And section that follow briefly that examine these two connecting the technology. That first is where the most part storage that we use about this DS and the SAN. Now the bus technology was used for the direct access storage and structure constructed from the connection of copper wires working in parallel. So each transmitting a single bit of information at a time. Data transmitted over a bus is fast disassembled from the byte into the bit by the sender. transferred over the bus as binary signal, that in this bus transmitting that transfer over the data in the bus और 0-1 की format में जाता है, and into the bytes that again to be receive all information and is transferred in parallel including application data, address and communication protocol. Sometimes there is a small computer system interface that is bus has been used for the decades to connect storage and other peripherals such as the scanner, printer on the computer system. And another common bus that has been of advanced technology that you can use here, which is that being used over the last decade as a way to connect desktop and laptop storage of the personal computer system. Some of the more available fiber channel network technologies that is being used for the most common connecting technology used for the system SAN, and some most recent connecting technology that is to be introduced by about the small computer system interface, and which is to be implemented for the top of the TCP/IP and running on the physical network that support TCP/IP, Ethernet network. That is the four most in common for connecting the system. Next is about the storing. Let's know we are about again in this chapter we are studying about the data storage. Now the topic is the storing. That is the most the second primary function area about storage. Networking is storing an area. That is storing an area, and storing emphasizes many types of storage technologies, including host-based volume manager and disk manager. Storage system, host bus, adapter, storage devices, and storage visualization can be here. So storing has a technology of the root in which interaction between the storage devices and computer system over a bus. Storing method can be configured using storage devices such as the standard function nearly all major operating system. About here is the written secondary primary function area storing. We are storing many type of disks as we discuss here. Next here, storing has technology root for interacting direct access storage and storing method, configuring storing devices that has become standard function and mainly based in the operating system on which we are getting and storing the data. Some of the more here the role also storage controller that I would like to tell here, like physical devices on which you are actually performing storing function is called storage controller. And storage controller is that present all storage product and are possible for the retail operation. Storage controller present the product like host bus adapter, storage device such as disk, tape, CD, DVD drive, storage subsystem, storage appliances, storage router, gateway, channel, switches and integrated storage functions that can be mainly used here. Next I would like to tell about the SAN and NAS storing and the filling application. Again I would like to tell the basic full form of SAN, that is storage area network, and NAS is network attached storage. Now the two major product of classes is storage network and SAN and NAS, that analyze technology in the system connecting for storing and filling. Through the easily we can differentiate like this storage area network and network attached to the storage. Here the SAN are used for conveying the sorting commands over the network. About the basic mode we will cover in the next session. About now this is the exercise that you can do it by yourself. Explain network storage architectures and explain about the storage. This is all about this session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.